I'm sorry, sir.
After all that we've gone through, gone through the crying, the this, the that, and now you've picked up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Don't talk about the case, Mr. Franklin.
He's a prosecutor.
The only thing is, I cannot express my disappointment. I really thought that you and I were like reaching together.
We are. We were, and we really are. My family's working against me. They trying to take my SSI check and stuff. I haven't done anything. This is my 35th year. I haven't done nothing.
So look, I don't even know what happened. I want to know. So he picked up an ag assault with them. What happened? Please, just don't say anything, please. I just want to know what happened or why they're saying what happened. Okay.
On March 17th, 2025, at approximately 5:48 p.m., officers were dispatched from an aggravated assault call at a residence in here.
Whoa, hold up. This escalated fast. Notice how quickly a verbal argument in a group home turned into an aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon? In Texas, even something as small as a fork can be classified as a deadly weapon, depending on how it's used. So when the complainant says he thought it was a knife, yeah, that's all it takes for a felony. Question is, was this a real threat or a major misunderstanding?
Defendant down. Defendant stated to the complainant that he was going to fuck him up, then went to his bedroom. The defendant took a hold of a fork which the complainant believed was a knife and pointed it at the complainant. The complainant asked if he was going to get stabbed, and the defendant charged at the complainant. The complainant stated they feared for serious bodily injury or death. The complainant ran and locked themselves in their motor vehicle and called the police. While waiting for the police in the vehicle, the defendant was still threatening to kill the complainant and was kicking the vehicle.
Wow. I just came from Food Town and I went back home to eat. I was at the door, I knocked.
Stop. Just the problem is that there's some people in this life, Shaisa is always happening to them for some reason. Always. This, that, this. It's always happening. It's always happening. Don't matter where you go. I'm always stepping in, you know?
I'm not a violent person.
Your history says.
Well, I'm not a violent person. I'm an SSI patient. I've been dealing with this stuff all my life. Soon as they get my name
The only thing
to use my social.
The only thing I'm going to say is that, you know, it's time to do some deep reflection. You know, it really is time, because the thing is that I don't want you to end up with a 40-year sentence, man, because of the no self-control. I really thought we had something. I'm just so disappointed, man.
I don't know. Well, I'm the one that's been did wrong. I don't care no more.
Philip, I got to revoke your bond, man. So
I don't know why.
Because you picked up a felony.
I'm doing everything I can do. It's people out there doing hate cases, hate crimes, all towards people like me. All I'm trying to do is just get my home back. They took it from me. Everything. Because stuff is happening against me. I'm not assaulting people. I never assault people.
you know, the problem is that while this case is open, we can't do anything in here anyways. You know, what I'd like to do is, you know, have you evaluated to see how we go forward, because I just don't know.
A lot of this stuff was false. All of this stuff is false, so it's me.
We're gonna have to wait for it to play out. I hope, Mr. Franklin, but I don't know. Well, I gotta wait to see the evidence and see what
Well,
happens.
I can't just send me to a psych ward unit or something while all of this is going on.
First, I have to have you evaluated, but I can't do that until the felonies are
This does
worked
not make
out.
no sense. This is my 35th year, and I have to keep dealing with this stuff.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna revoke it. I'll set it at 5,001. All right, Mr. Franklin, I just don't want you to have any weapons and just don't pick up any new cases, man.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Is it Gaston or
Gaston.
Gaston? Mr. Gaston, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle speeding on Gulf Freeway feeder by radar device going 72 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer then observed the vehicle turn left at a red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer instructed the driver to step out of the vehicle, and the officer began to detain the driver. As the officer was detaining the driver, the front passenger, the defendant, exited the vehicle. The officer instructed the defendant to return to the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the officer's instructions and started to walk away. The officer ordered the defendant to stop, and the defendant started running northbound. The officer observed the defendant place his left hand near the front of his waistband and throw a small black and blue object near a fence. The officer informed other officers of the defendant's location. Officers observed the defendant running eastbound on the 3,300th block of Scott Street and attempted to apprehend the defendant. The defendant was apprehended at the 3,100th block of Milby Street, approximately 0.2 miles away from the scene. The officers searched the area and located a firearm. The officer remained in visual contact with the location and no individuals approached that area.
What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? No. I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. If you got a gun.
And there it is. No probable cause. That's judge speak for there's not enough evidence to justify an arrest. Basically, the officer overreached. But here's the real question for you watching. Should stepping out of a car during a traffic stop be a crime? Drop your thoughts below. Was the judge right to toss it, or was this a risky move by the defendant?
No, there's no connected cases.
Just driving while black.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm going to point that out here. It was a speeding stop where the passenger was getting out of the car. I would say the officer would have the right to at least make sure the passenger was in the car while he was conducting a stop. That's his.
Yes.
I don't even think that's an arrestable offense. You know? It's not an arrestable offense. They just literally pull him out, he's speeding, and they arrest him. And then the co-defendant's doing nothing wrong. He just gets out of the car. He can just walk away. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. James.
I know. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I didn't know my court papers. I thought I was supposed to be on the 25th. And I called the court.
Okay. I will reinstate your bond today.
Now I called the court, and she told me to be here this morning. So I had to catch 2 buses. I catch 1 bus.
There's no need for you to say anything. Just don't miss court again.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, but there's a photo from my computer.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
We have to do probable cause.
Oh, we do?
Just, you have the right to remain silent. I don't want you to say anything because I don't want you to hurt your case anymore, okay?
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11 a.m., officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arms. The complainant stated he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist and strangled the complainant from behind with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street, and the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and the defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek. I have spoken to the complainant. So from what the complainant has told me is it is
Sir.
consistent.
Move.
It's consistent with the rip, but then also this other suspect apparently had fired at their vehicle while the defendant was being detained, and there's an ongoing aggravated assault along with this as well for the other suspect.
Know who that is?
Yes, I've gotten his name. I need to reach out to the officer to see what the status is on that, but we do have the name of the other suspect.
James, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. If I find that you put hands on anyone in this life from now on, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it so high you'll have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If I find that you're a danger to my community, likewise. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to have any contact with this person. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of this. Was it a gas station?
Yes, it was a gas station, Your Honor.
This gas station, and I'm going to put an ankle monitor where I know where you are at all times. You just had 2 aggravated assaults and a burglary of a building
I didn't,
months ago. So
John,
Mr.
I had
James.
nothing to do with this.
I want you to understand something. I will protect my community at all cost.
Staff,
Do you understand?
I understand that, sir. But I
I don't.
touched nobody. I broke the fight up between
Here's
this
what
guy.
we'll do. Here's what we will do. I will give you a lawyer today. We will wait for this evidence to come in. There's always 2 sides to a
Yeah,
story.
the officer said they need the film from the gas station.
I
That
want you-
exonerates me.
I want you to listen.
Sir.
There are always 2 sides to a story. And the evidence will point to whose side is correct. We are giving you the benefit of the doubt, and this is why you are out in the free world as it is now. But if I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you pick up a new case, if I find that you break any of these conditions that I set forth, you know what's going to happen. Do you understand?
Sir.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to me. All what matters to me is going forward, what happens. And I want my community safe.
Understand.
Judge, can we also get a residential restriction for him not to be able to go near the complainant's residence as well? Because from what it sounds like to me, they all know where each
No.
other lives.
No, I don't.
So,
When I say I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case,
Can I just say one thing? Your
hold
Honor?
on. It is a Mr. Hernandez. When I'm telling you I don't want you to have contact with this person, it's phone calls, text messages, social media, where this person lives, where this person works, where this person hangs out. If I find that you are anywhere near this person, then I will revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And here's the rub, is that if I make your bond $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 and you don't have anyone to make that bond, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. All I'm asking you to do now is keep my community safe and don't go near this person.
I don't communicate with this person. I ain't touching nobody, Your Honor. I was breaking this guy.
Stop. I will give you a lawyer today. You can tell your side to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. I don't need to be involved at this
Yes, sir.
time.
But the officer told me they could.
Stop. I don't want to hear it. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. You're not to be in possession of any weapons, no alcohol, illegal drugs, random testing, a GPS monitor, and no going within 1,000 feet of where the person lives or doesn't work. Do
How many communicators you got?
you mind appointing, Miss? Okay, I'm now going to give you a lawyer. You will be able to speak to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. You must remain in contact with the lawyer. If the lawyer tells me he cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, I will issue a warrant. Do you understand?
But yeah,
You can talk to him. He'll be here shortly, and then you can tell him what happened. All right? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We're good.
Okay, thank
you
you.
know,
Yeah. Come on, let's get this.
I had nothing to do.
I know. Well, this is more of a client service matter than anything else. I would like to reapproach, Your Honor, on Mr. James. Mr. James has some questions about the probable cause, and if it's possible, I'd like to have probable cause read while I'm here with him so that I can communicate to him adequately everything that's going on.
Okay.
Thank you,
Come up, Mr. James. He's saying there's no probable cause.
Your Honor. I think at this point, I'd like to just say that he's not fully understanding or appreciating the magnitude of what's going on so that we can communicate effectively. I'd just like us to have the transparency.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You ready?
That's true.
Okay. You are charged with assault causing bodily injury. You are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. She's going to read what happened in this case. Please.
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11, officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arm. The complainant stated that he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist, then strangled the complainant from behind with his
Okay, hold on. Did you hear what that said? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know that's not true.
Okay.
Whether it happened or not, that's what they're saying happened.
That's why we have evidence. Evidence points to whose side is correct. I know that you're saying it didn't happen.
Said that.
But the
Somebody said that. That's the probable cause.
We have film.
I got that's right. We're gonna work on it. Just listen.
with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street. When officers arrived, the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek.
And Your Honor, of course, he doesn't have a bump on his cheek or his neck, and they got the wrong thing. They got the wrong guy. And we're gonna prove that. So, but right now, Your Honor, do you find probable cause? Judge found probable cause based on that. Now, we're gonna fight this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now listen, now we got one more thing to take care of. Your Honor, I understand that as part of his bond conditions, the court is requesting he has an ankle monitor. Your Honor, we understand that the purpose of bond and the conditions are to ensure his return to court. I have talked to him and we'd like to make his next appearance required, Your Honor.
Okay.
We would ask that he not have to have that ankle monitor, Your Honor.
And the state would be opposed, just due to the complainant's safety and the threats to their life that happened, that was relayed to us during this incident. I don't know how him and the other suspect are involved. The state would be opposed to not having him be involved.
And if I may, Your Honor, my client was not the initial aggressor. The facts are uncontroverted that my client, it was introduced to a scene of combat. Whether or not he was trying to break it up and help and it was a misinterpretation, or he actually hit this person who was ultimately unconscious and their recollection could be questioned. Those are all factual questions, Your Honor. He's contesting that he was a good Samaritan, Your Honor, and we'd like to prove that. But there were other facts that took place that were not my client. We would ask that even though they have concerns, he is not posing a risk that he would not return to court, Your Honor. And that would be the reason for the ankle monitor.
My fear, and after looking at his criminal history, he has extensive criminal history dating back to 1987.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, he has, and he just did 300 days on a burglar of a building not just a couple months ago, where 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon were dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So my fear is I don't want him using alcohol, illegal drugs, and I don't want him anywhere near the complaining witnesses. And I want to ensure that this doesn't happen. So that's why I put this on. If after some time passes where there are no issues, I'm always happy to revisit. But for the time being, I want to ensure that our community is protected and that the complaining witness is also protected. I mean, we have here an allegation where he was choked for 5 alleged minutes until he passed out.
No, that never happened.
The evidence will point to whose side is correct. I'm assuming, and I would hope, that if this is the fact, that officers would take pictures, there should be ligature marks, there should be all kinds of, so we'll see. I don't know. But the only thing,
Right, yeah, they don't have it right now. Yep. Yes,
That's
sir.
why
you need to listen, Mr. James, you also need to understand that you need to be patient.
listen,
Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time to get evidence. They don't get it immediately. It may take 6 months to get a 911 call. I don't know. But it takes time. So please be patient and don't take it out on your lawyer. He's trying to do the best he can. All I'm asking you to do is don't use alcohol, illegal drugs, and stay away from this person. Don't pick up any new cases.
Say yes. I say yes.
listen,
Can you stay away from the person?
I don't be around.
And I don't want you to go near I don't want you to go where the gas station was. I don't want you to go to their house. I don't, nothing of this nature.
Can you do that?
Yes.
Tell the judge you can do that.
I can do that.
There you go.
I don't
That's it.
communicate.
That's it. You can do that.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. James, good luck, man.
Listen, I'm yelling, troop around here.
All right.
I'm
Come on.
breaking them.
You need to sign it. This is it, right? Let's check. You check. Right here. Your Honor, it's okay, I'd like to come back maybe off docket, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, even though we have a setting out till May on this matter, just for the judges.
I would like you guys to also do a RIP, make sure that there are no issues, so just be aware. So Alan,
Yes, sir.
just give them a heads up
Yes,
when
sir.
you want so that they can have a RIP done to make sure everything's.
Absolutely. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're Robert Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ramsey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, officers observed a 2007 gray Toyota Solara traveling at 100 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. Officers caught up to the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an open bottle of whiskey in the front passenger area. The defendant admitted to having a few swigs of that whiskey. The officer observed slurred speech, confused demeanor. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6. Walk-in turn, a 6 out of 8. 6 out of 6 on the HDN, 6 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to breath, which came back to a .199 and a .208.
Yikes, a .208? That's more than double the legal limit in Texas. And driving 100 miles per hour? Not exactly a few swigs. The judge's reaction makes sense here. When public safety's on the line, leniency flies out the window. But here's a question for you. Do you think first-time offenders should lose their driving privileges immediately or get a second chance with an interlock device?
Drive. I am now making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I at least request an interlock device rather than a no driving affidavit? That would
He's going
guarantee-
100 and he's allegedly taking swigs. What? No. No driving. Do you understand?
May I at least make the argument?
Sure.
Sure. So he does have to drive to get to work. I understand the accusations against him. I also believe that there's some falsehoods in the accusations against him, Your Honor. We don't have any videos, we don't have any evidence yet on the case other than just the DIMS report here. So, like I said, in reference to the alcohol being, guaranteeing the safety of the community, I would ask that the interlock be installed rather than it being a no driving affidavit. As far as the driving quickly, I'm sure that, he won't drive that quickly anymore, and he will swear that he will not speed or do anything else. We can say if he gets a ticket or something like that for speeding, Your Honor, that then we'd, accede to or agree to the no driving affidavit, Your Honor. But I do think the interlock device would fully guarantee the safety of the public in terms of him not being able to drive and then operate the vehicle.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm taking away your privilege to drive for the moment. I don't care. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not absolute. But I want you to understand that this is a privilege. It's not a right. You want a right? Take your happy feet and walk from one place to the other. That's a right. This is a privilege. And if you look on the news every single day, someone dies in our county from an intoxication, assault, crash, whatever it may be. No. Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. But it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stewart. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, ducking, dodging phone calls, you pick up a new case, you know what happens.
Yes, sir.
For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear touch it, you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria Center reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. All right. It's not absolute.